Hi, I'm Mark Trenner, a patent and trademark attorney. In last week's video, I said that I would give you some insights on selecting a strong trademark to represent your brand. Let me start with a story. In Denver, Colorado, everyone wants to call themselves Mile High something or another. This is a remarkably weak trademark. Let's talk about the 4 major trademark traps you need to avoid when naming your business and how to pick a name that actually protects your investment. When you're building a brand, there are 4 categories of weak trademarks that the United States Trademark Office will typically reject. And if you do get one of these, it's going to be very weak and easily challenged. Let's start with generic terms. These are common everyday names for goods or services themselves, like trying to trademark the word drugstore or restaurant. A generic term can never be protected because the law won't allow one business to monopolize words that competitors must use to describe what they sell. Geographic terms can also be a problem. You generally want to avoid using locations like Denver or Colorado as the core of your brand. The Trademark Office rejects names that are primarily geographically descriptive because one business shouldn't be allowed to lock up a geographical area. Next, let's look at overused terms. In Denver, for example, a phrase like mile high is used by hundreds of businesses, and most localities have these, like coastal, if you're along the coast somewhere in California or Florida, or the Big Apple if you're in New York, the Windy City in Chicago. You want to avoid those. They're not trademarks. A trademark's primary job is to act as a unique identifier for your specific brand. If a term is completely crowded out in the marketplace, it loses its distinctiveness and becomes nearly impossible to legally enforce. Finally, let's look at descriptive terms. Phrases like house cleaning services simply describe a feature, quality, or purpose of what you do. Business owners love descriptive names because they immediately tell consumers what the business is. But if your name is just a job description, it generally can't be legally protected without showing that it has acquired what's called acquired secondary meaning. And that term I'll leave for a whole other video. Let's instead talk in this video about how to get secure federal protection for your trademark and build a brand that everyone recognizes. You go, well, start by choosing a strong trademark, and here's how. Let's look at suggestive trademarks. A suggestive trademark suggests the quality of your product without flat out describing it. Think, for example, of the term focus for contact lenses or hot chocolate for tanning lotion. These are clever, memorable, and legally protectable, but they don't tell you exactly what the product or service is. Arbitrary marks is another category of strong trademarks. Arbitrary trademarks are real words that are applied to completely unrelated things. For example, Red Bull for energy drinks, or Apple for computers. These are real words, but Apple, the fruit, has nothing to do with technology, so that has made it a very distinctive brand. But the gold standard is fanciful marks. These are completely made up words created solely to be your brand name. Think, for example, Google for a search engine or Xerox for copiers. Because these words didn't exist in the English language before they automatically they'll automatically receive the highest level of legal protection. Building a business takes a lot of time, energy, and capital. Don't risk your investment on a weak name that you can't protect. Take the time now, up front, to build a strong brand from day one. That's all I've got for now. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next video.